This isn't a battle anymore. It's a motherfucking war.
As for I'm going to get to reading that book, I really don't think it'll be for a while.
I might read the one I bought pretty soon. At least I'll do it on my lunch break at work.
Yes, folks.
Like that.
We bought books.
So anyway, today's game. Hey, so guys, Game of the Week. I am Nick Silviano. This is
Connor Jagger.
And this is Hey, it's those guys, Game of the Week. We retitled the show.
Woohoo!
It's the same concept we've been doing, but we decided to just rename the show.
Revamp.
And so like that, we rebooted. That's the big thing in games these days. Reboot. Reboot the series.
Which isn't apparently good for all of them, but hey.
So in that case, we just might revisit some games we did before. But anyway, on to this week's game, which is actually a pretty relevant one, given the release that's coming up in a few weeks.
And the very first video game I ever played at the age of 5. I kid you not.
Zelda Ocarina of Time, or Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. See that there? Yeah, you like that? I got the original gold cartridge.
What'd you
Bitches!
Get? You got the gray cartridge.
So obviously we're talking about this because in in the not too distant future we're gonna get to see the 3D the remake for the Nintendo 3DS.
And believe it or not, does the prequel for this game count? Does the prequel for this game count?
What prequel?
Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword's not out yet. When Skyward Sword comes out, we'll talk about it. But for the time being, we're talking about Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64.
Not the GameCube, not the Wii.
Possibly my favorite Zelda. Yeah, my favorite Zelda game of all time.
The last decent Zelda game.
Well, they introduced a lot of things to the series, and unfortunately they kept repeating, but couldn't capture the first time.
3D?
Couldn't capture it the first time around. First game in the series to make 3D. Came on Nintendo 64. It did the whole thing perfectly without CG cutscenes, which was like the thing at the time. But it was just, one of my favorite Zelda games of all time, and the actual first Zelda game I played all the way through. Because I did play the first two Zelda games,
but they were
came out. I was just really bad at them, and I was really young.
They were just side scrollers.
So anyway, Zelda Ocarina of Time. A lot of you who played it need no introduction, but for those of you who
live under a rock,
who don't know, or are just coming into gaming,
or got amnesia from falling out of the sky,
this is going to be the reason why you want to buy a 3DS. There's a couple of reasons coming out, other reasons coming up. I want to get one. But for the rest of you, if you haven't got a 3DS and you're waiting for the game,
I can live with that one.
Yeah, I already played this game. If I'm going to get 3DS, it's going to be for the new Mario game. But that's off subject here. Ocarina of Time. Like I said, the story is pretty cool.
Generic.
What are your thoughts?
Well, as I said, it's the very first video game I ever played.
Right, and I do have a funny story to tell about this. I mentioned it in a few videos back, but I'll mention it again when we get to the point. So anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah. So when I was 5 years old, my gaming was a bit cool, or
you didn't know how to play anything. Just get on with it.
Well, I didn't really know how to play games. I had to have my mom read out the text for me because I couldn't read, and that got me to. And my mom helped me to beat the game. He did nothing.
Who taught me? I figured it out on my own.
Well, by that you knew how to read. I didn't. I was 5. Keep that in mind.
You still don't know how to read. Just go.
That was pointless. Anyway, yeah.
That's it.
You made me fuck up.
Sorry. So yeah, like I said, the dungeons I thought were pretty well thought out.
I beat it a million times. Go on.
Yeah, me too. I actually got everything in this game. All the Skulltulas, all the hearts,
I got all the hearts.
Fucking thing you can find in the game, I got. So yeah, basically, the ending. I like the end of the game. The end was pretty
generic,
substandard. You beat the game, everybody had parties, stuff like that. It was just the final boss battle that was just like my favorite thing ever. If I were to make a list of top 10 boss battles, this would probably hit the #1 spot.
Why don't you do that?
One thing at a time.
You can't do it.
Anyway, I'll probably get halfway and lose interest. So anyway, yeah. Ocarina of Time, if you're gonna get it for the 3DS, I would recommend it if you haven't already played it. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be anything new. You're just gonna have better graphics and have that little 3D feel, whatever. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I'll believe when I see it.
It'll be a long time before you get a 3DS.
But anyway, yeah, I don't want to give away too much because the game's about to come out, and I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But it's a pretty decent game. Anyway, anyway, so basically, I give it an approval.
I give it approval.
So there you go. 2 approvals, obviously. Now, before we go, I just have one. He's going to be so pissed when I tell the story.
Yeah, I hate you.
Alright, for those of you who have played the game, there's a part when you're adult Link and you got to go back to the Forest Temple. This time, when you do the Forest Temple, you got to go through this, maze. And, it's not that bad. You got to kill a couple little Deku Scrubs, whatever they're called. But the second time around, they got the Moblins. The Moblins in this game are fucking huge.
It'll scare the shit out of any kid.
This guy, he was so afraid to play that part that every time he got to it, he would run out of the room and make me do it. And he would cry. He saw those things charging at him, and they scream and charge at him. He actually fucking cried.
Well, what'd you do when they first charged at you?
I was like, oh shit, but you had tears in your eyes. And he'd be shaking. He'd have to have his mom hold him.
Well, that's gonna scare the. I'm telling you, that'll scare the shit out of any child. Although if your kid's playing Call of Duty, you probably should do something.
I know nowadays these kids are playing Call of Duty and they're just fucking cussing at everybody else, saying how great they are at the game. But anyway.
Yeah. You know what I do today? I use the Scarecrow.
So anyway.
Used to scare the shit out of me when I was a kid. Now I'm just lazy, so I jump over all of them.
Alright, it was still funny though. So anyway, that was Game of the Week. Hazel got Game of the Week. Zelda Ocarina of Time. Play it, enjoy it, love it, and we'll see you next week.
Maybe.